Have you ever been sitting completely still, maybe late at night, or during a quiet moment in your afternoon, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a specific person just floods your mind? It's not a gradual thought. It's an abrupt, heavy shift in your emotional energy. One minute you're doing completely fine, and the next, you feel this overwhelming ache of their presence, almost as if they just walked right into the room. In my view, most people pass this off as a mere coincidence. They tell themselves, "Oh, I'm just missing them," or "I'm just overthinking things again." But from my personal experience, and from everything I've gathered studying the deep, unspoken dynamics of human connection, energy is rarely a one-way street. I feel that when you experience a sudden, unprovoked shift like that, it's not just your mind playing tricks on you. In fact, more often than not, it is the exact psychological moment they are fighting a massive, exhausting urge to text you. Today, I want to talk about the silent telepathy of attachment. We are going to explore exactly what happens when two people are separated by pride or distance, but their minds are still desperately trying to pull each other back. Let's look at what I call emotional residue. When you share a deep bond with someone, whether it was a full relationship, an intense situationship, or even just a strong unspoken attraction, you don't just share conversations. You build a psychological loop. You get used to their patterns, their emotional frequencies, and their presence in your life. I experienced this firsthand a few years ago with someone I had to walk away from. We weren't speaking. The silence between us was deafening. But on random Tuesdays, for no logical reason, I would feel this intense, heavy wave of their memory. Months later, when we finally crossed paths and talked about that period, they admitted to me that those exact days were the moments they were sitting with their phone in their hand, typing out messages to me, only to delete them over and over. You see, human beings are incredibly sensitive to changes in attention. When someone suddenly cuts off direct contact with you, their mind doesn't just switch off. The brain actually goes through a form of withdrawal. And when they hit a peak moment of missing you, that mental energy has to go somewhere. It radiates through their habits, their focus. And yes, I truly believe it ripples across the invisible tether that still connects the two of you. So, how do you know if that sudden shift you're feeling is a real reflection of their internal struggle? From what I've observed, there are a few undeniable psychological tells that prove they are wrestling with the urge to break the silence. The first sign is what I call the digital breadcrumbs. Have you noticed them posting songs, quotes, or cryptic stories on social media that seem to perfectly mirror the emotional vibe you are feeling? They won't text you directly, because their pride won't let them. But they are desperately casting a net out into the digital world, hoping you will see it and break the ice for them. They are trying to communicate without taking the risk of rejection. The second sign is a sudden surge in your intuition. There is a huge difference between wishing someone would text you, and feeling like they are about to. I feel like our subconscious minds are far smarter than our conscious thoughts. When that person is intensely focused on you, staring at your contact photo, rereading old messages, your subconscious picks up on the absence of their closure. It triggers a physical reaction in you, a sudden fluttering in your chest, a restless energy, or a heavy intuition that simply won't leave you alone. Now, when you feel this shift, the temptation is going to be overwhelming. You are going to want to pick up your phone and text them. You'll think, if I'm feeling this so strongly, maybe I should just reach out. But in my view, this is where you have to hold the line. If they are actively fighting the urge to text you, it means there is a battle happening inside their mind between their pride and their affection. If you step in and text them first, you instantly relieve all the pressure. You rescue them from their own discomfort. They get the validation of knowing you are still waiting around. without having to do any of the hard work of swallowing their pride to reach out. If this is making sense to you so far, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. I feel like so many people go through these painful silent phases entirely alone, and my goal with this channel is to build a community where we can actually decode this crazy human behavior together. Join us, it really helps the channel grow, and it ensures you never miss a breakthrough. I feel that the most powerful thing you can do during these heavy energetic shifts is to breathe through it and anchor yourself in your own life. Let the pressure build on their side of the fence. Let them sit with the weight of their choice to be distant. Human anatomy can handle a lot of things, but the mind can rarely survive its own silence for long. If the connection was real, the urge to return will eventually break through their defenses. I'm really curious to know, have you felt that sudden shift recently? Have you ever had a moment where you just knew someone was thinking of you, and they ended up reaching out later? Drop your experiences in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening today, keep your head up, and I'll see you in our next video.